Jones and Keefe on WEEI. We played Mike Vrabel live yesterday on the show. There's a reason why we do that.
Get some good stuff in there.
When he calls Phil a big dumb idiot.
You moron. Oh, I hate you. You gotcha media?
He got so mad.
It was like a legitimate good question. We had just talked about the Steph Diggs interview with Diana Rossini, where he gave some sort of strange answers. You have an opportunity to talk to the head coach. You ask him about it.
Yeah.
It, by no means is it one of these weird. Every once in a while, I remember covering some Bill Belichick press conferences. There would be some weird questions asked to him. That was not a weird one.
No,
that was very straightforward.
Hey, Diggs just did an interview. It dropped in the last 12 hours.
We're all talking about it.
He said maybe he won't be ready to go week 1, and Vrabel goes, "Well, you're a smart guy. Did you really?
You believe
that? Oh, you did?
Should we not believe your players?
Guess not.
Should we believe you?
So my interpretation yesterday was that Vrabel's not mad at Phil. He's mad at Diggs.
Yeah, but he took it out on Phil.
He did.
He lashed out.
I feel like that's aged pretty well since we got off the air yesterday. I don't think Vrabel's happy with any of what's going on right now with Steph Diggs. That doesn't mean he's going to cut him. Doesn't mean that the guy can't play. I just think Vrabel is a little chapped at the way the whole thing's going.
Yeah.
By the way, apparently, we'll play a clip from Phil coming up. I didn't realize this. Apparently, Diggs isn't talking to the local media and won't until he plays in a game.
Is he going to join us on Patriots Monday?
He was requested. The answer is no. Yeah.
That got shot down.
Like most of our requests, it was not
shot down.
Not agreed to. Yeah.
They said no courteously, of course, but they did say no. Which guy, if he's not as good as we're kind of hoping, would affect the outcome of the season more? Would it be Will Campbell really struggling on the left side, or would it be these continued kind of struggles with Steph Diggs?
I do think Diggs.
So do I. I mean, so Campbell can't be like Vidarian Lowe bad, which I don't think he will be. But even if he's an average left tackle, you say, well, number 4 pick, you're hoping for more than that. But if he's an average left tackle, and then you give McDaniels some credit and say, all right, he's coached a lot of different teams with a lot of different offensive lines. Like, you don't have the best offensive line. Call some plays that can kind of hide it. I would hope that he wouldn't kill you as much, because you're right. The Diggs, finally a number 1 receiver, or even if it's just close to a number 1 receiver, is what could really change this offense. Because if you don't have that, all the reporting yesterday is none of these guys are getting open. Is the high that I was on watching the Washington practice, where they were getting open and they did look good, that's gone away.
And you've made the point, most of that Diggs wasn't on the field when they were doing that.
No, I know. And now he's out there, and they're like, hey, they had a Kayshon Boutte Hail Mary at the end. And you're like, all right. If you can't really count on the old Hail Mary. I appreciate the Hail Mary.
I wouldn't, yeah.
Won a guy a Heisman, for God's sakes. Everybody loves a Hail Mary, but that can't really be your offense. So if Steph Diggs isn't out there getting double teams from opposing defenses and having close to 1,000-yard season, that's going to make the offense look different.
I'm not sure this is the spirit of what you're asking, but Diggs has a chance to drag a team down too with his attitude and antics and stuff like that. So I don't think Campbell's going to do that.
No.
So yeah, I think Diggs would be more damaging to the season if he's not what we think he is, or if he's going.
As much as I defend him,
going off the rails. Yeah.
Already been more of a distraction
than Campbell,
than anybody on the team. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
And I like to look the other way. I'm like, hey, it's the price of doing business with a number 1 receiver. You need number 1 receivers. It's the way of the league. You got to have these guys. But even going all the way back to OTAs.
If they're a number 1 receiver.
They're worth the problem. You're right, but if they're not.
If he's going to be a shell of himself and he's not going to get open and he's not going to make plays, we'll give you some numbers from Karen Grisian coming up here. But if he's not going to do any of that and he's going to be a distraction, well, then he's not worth it. If he's vintage Steph Diggs or something approximating that, I think, of course, he's worth the headache. I don't mind that.
I'm with you.
But if you're a bum-ass receiver and you're not the same guy, then we can't put up with the sideshow.
Yeah, if you're 1 catch for 12 yards and you're screaming at the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, and all, then it's not great. If you're 100 yards and a touchdown every week, you can have as much pink cocaine as you want. Just inject it into your veins.
I'm not saying this guy's Ocho, Patriots stage, but he's a good example. It's like Ocho was great in Cincinnati. He's catching 1 million balls. He's entertaining. He got here, and all of a sudden that wasn't so fun.
One of the biggest mysteries was Belichick kept him on the team that whole year. He was awful. They didn't play special teams. They just carried him the whole year. And you're like, he stinks.
Well, Bill loved him.
Bill did.
Yeah.
Bill loved him.
I
don't think Vrabel loves Steph Diggs that same way.
That is not my interpretation. Phil's the one who got yelled at yesterday. He was on NBC Sports Boston. How did Phil interpret everything going on with Steph Diggs coming out of the practice yesterday?
For Mike Vrabel to sort of have to be his public relations assistant and tell us what he really meant in his commentary to a member of the national media. I don't know if that irks Mike Vrabel or if he's just looking to go back and forth with somebody in the media, but between Downing's comments, between his what I would call sort of quiet performance this camp, Vrabel's comments this morning, and the fact that, Tom, he is not planning, is my understanding, on talking to the local media until he plays in a game. So maybe that'll happen this Saturday. I have my doubts. It all sort of adds up to there's a lot going on with this guy for a guy who doesn't look like a number one receiver.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's
Ouch.
that's the biggest burn at the end. I don't like
a guy who doesn't look like a number one receiver.
Trust me, as a member of the local media, loosely, I would like him to speak to the local media, but that's not that's a fraction of the importance of looking like a number one receiver. That's the most important thing.
Right. Here's the thing. Do I really care if he talks? No. But I am curious why he isn't talking, and it's like, so what's
I'm going to
your
go on Rossini's Scoop City podcast.
What's your deal? Are you upset about all the pink cocaine questions?
What is your deal?
But like, what? But why won't you talk? Like, why won't you do it? I'm just curious about that
because he's done it a few times.
Yeah,
right. Like since he's gotten here, like in a Patriots uniform, he has spoken a few times, and they don't have him on like the crazy tight leash that. Remember when Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon was here, and it was like.
Gordon was ridiculous.
As the second question was coming out, they're like, last question, last one, get him out.
It's like, we just started.
Like, Josh, how's your day? He's like, pretty good. Last one. Don't ask him anything else.
That was one.
That was it. That one counts.
It's like wishes with a genie. You get like one out, and you're like, crap, I already burned it. No.
So that was like useless. So they're not guarding him like that, and that might be more of a Belichick thing, but they're not like afraid of it. But now it's him that's saying, like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just did a national podcast, though. But I won't talk to anybody in like a scrum.
Very strange.
While I'm at practice.
Very, very strange.
No, but it's like, as much as I want to be, fingers in the ears, close my eyes, Steph Diggs will be there week one, and he's going to be a number one receiver. Like, there are enough kind of breadcrumbs that would say, maybe that's not going to be the case.
Well, let me add this as well. I hadn't seen this, so I heard Courtney and Curtis talking about it this morning. Garisian wrote at Mass Live, and I'd imagine... It's with
Karen, hello.
It's with the tacit approval of Mike Vrabel. Who gets to ask every first question in the press conference setting, Keefe?
What?
That would be Karen.
Karen,
first question every time.
She gets every single first question right away. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine whatever she's writing, she's either had the blessing of Vrabel or she understands this to be Vrabel's view on things.
Yeah.
Just a hunch. How Steph Diggs has gone from being the Patriots' best receiver to an afterthought. We've illustrated this, Keith. Just from being boots on the ground, doing shows at joint practices and training camp, we've told you he was very noticeable the first 2 days, and then he hasn't been. We've said that consistently now. Karen put some numbers to it, which I couldn't do. I don't track it that closely. I knew it was the case, but the numbers are very telling.
This proves the eye test.
Yes.
Yeah.
She says there's little disputing the fact that the star receiver, Diggs, who was the team's best wideout early in camp, has disappeared from the offense in recent days. Disappeared. While he's consistently been impressive in one-on-ones, you reference
don't do it, Hawk.
You reference one of those videos, Keith, where he was turning Akuda inside out.
Yep.
And 7-on-7,
He's not the only guy that's done that in his career.
He's been an afterthought during full team drills. On Thursday, he didn't have a catch during 11-on-11s. Yesterday.
Well, Drake Man was getting sacked every time. What do you want him to do?
That meant he didn't register a catch during 4 of the last 5 instances when he was involved in team drills. On Wednesday, he did have 3.
Maybe he's playing decoy?
To partially break that streak. So on Wednesday, he had 3 catches in full team drills. 4 out of the last 5, including yesterday, he had 0. Last week, Diggs mysteriously showed up late to joint practices against Washington. Curtis was hung up on, was he late? Or was he told to, work his way in? I guess I don't know. The fact that she writes late
showed
is interesting.
Up late is different. Because you don't know, because we had a hard time.
She says Diggs mysteriously showed up late.
All right,
I assumed,
that's not a team plan then.
I assumed it was a plan, but yeah,
no,
that's
not
interesting.
That phrasing it isn't.
Yeah.
And you don't really know, when we were at camp, because you don't know, remember we saw players walk into the side field. So you're like, I forget who it was. We were like, is that player late or is that player was doing extra treatment and then making his way out there? So any player that's dealing with some kind of an injury, I assume it's part of some sort of team plan.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you think you're
yes,
Steph Diggs isn't out there yet? Oh, now he's out there. That must be the plan.
I was freaking out. I'm like, where is he? You caught it through the binocs, Keith.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh God, where is he?
But so he was late.
Well, mysteriously late. And then he was held out of the game against the Commanders. What did Vrabel have to say about that again?
Mike, it's awesome that it seems like Stefon Diggs is going to be good for week 1. Holding him back on Friday, is that just out of precaution with his recovery?
Coach's decision.
Okay.
Awesome. No,
that is like...
Yeah, but that one you can kind of hide easier because it's like there's a lot of veterans that didn't play in the game.
No, you can't.
Being mysteriously late suggests that you were unexcused late.
And now that
Coach's decision.
Now that Karen writes it that way, do you hear that any different? Like... Again, I think he's agitated with Diggs.
Oh, I think he's agitated. I don't think he didn't play in the game because he's agitated, right? Like, they could be separate things.
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to play in the game anyway.
He wasn't the only veteran not to play, and I don't really have a big issue with him not playing.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to. I don't view that as like punishment for
flat coach's decision, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but that also, you could spin that as, well, the player wanted to play, but it's coach's decision for him not to play. But but just like the tone, I would say more so than what he said, and then just sort of the way he went back at it with Phil, which seemed like unnecessary.
Now that you say that, do you think Diggs wanted to play? Like based on his answer to Rossini and why he's playing coy?
I think veterans probably would not want to play in the preseason. That'd be my guess. I think everybody's a little bit different, but that'd be my guess.
Okay. What's going on with Steph Diggs? You guys can weigh in, 617-779-7937. We will get to the Red Sox at 11 o'clock. There's one very angry tweeter asking for us to talk Red Sox.
We'll get there.
He's hoping the Patriots go 0-17.
Oh, my God. Don't take it out on them.
Some very colorful language. There's one angry tweeter that wants us to talk Red Sox, so we will get to them at 11 o'clock.